Welcome to Aligned, where we use our experience to improve your process. Aligned Elements is a complete ALM toolset to enable you to manage your company's design control process. Our tool was conceived and written by people who have worked in the medical device industry. People who have created and brought products through testing and compliance and ultimately to market. People just like you. Today's webinar will be discussing your escape from a document-based office-centric process and discovering the benefits of an artifact-based process. I've been working with customers and their development needs for almost 20 years. What I have found during this time is that 80% of the people I talk to have no formal tool for managing their process. As I'm sure you're aware, documentation is a large part of the development process of any medical device. We have found that up to 30% of your effort is concentrated there. And because your products evolve over time, there is a constant change happening in both content as well as the regulatory landscape. This leads to potential gaps in compliance and increased development risk. The typical process we see is the office approach, using Word for requirements in the test plan, and then having Excel to manage the traceability between those two documents. As I mentioned, around 80% of the people I talk to are using this exact method. This monkey in the middle approach isn't necessarily a recipe for disaster, but it can slow a project down, creating unnecessary risks and a questionable source of truth. As important as the documentation is, adherence to compliance and risk analysis is also vital to our businesses. Most companies we talk to are using this document-based approach to create the traceability between the two Word documents. The person managing the spreadsheet is typically a higher level member of staff, and they're often burning half of their working hours managing those traces. And those traces aren't without fail. There's an inherent risk, as impact analysis is already difficult, and then there is a question of what is the latest document? What is the source of truth? The document approach often creates separations of both team members and information. No one knows exactly what's going on as information is siloed. There's no clear vision of what percentage of the product has been tested, where we are in the process, and there's a real risk of audit failure, which could be the kiss of death for any product. The office approach is very manual in terms of the creation of traceability to do impact analysis and create relationships between specifications, risks, verifications, validations, and other artifacts. Collaboration is very difficult as documents are not easily divided among team members. When one person is editing the document, other team members must wait until they're finished. Once that person is finished, then another person has to check the impact via the spreadsheet, and this can be a lengthy process when it is manual. Visibility is virtually zero, as there is no report that can quickly tell you how your test coverage percentage looks or what your pass-fail tendency is. Another feature of the office approach that is most overlooked is the cost. Most people look at tools as a luxury until they estimate the cost for the spreadsheet jockey. This person, as I said, is typically an important member of staff, usually a project manager or head of R&D. The job of jockeying is time-consuming, burning nearly half of their working time, and all that effort can be very error-prone, which creates even more risk on the entire development effort. The costs are directly dependent on the amount of time and the salary of the individual managing the spreadsheet, of course, but that person tends to be higher up. And the higher up they are, the more they make and the larger the costs are. You could use students, but then the error risk increases as they may not know what to look for and how the items relate to one another. What we have found is that on average, our customers are spending somewhere around 40 to 50,000 euro a year on a flawed process. And there's an additional opportunity cost of that manager's time. What could they also be possibly doing? They could be innovating. They could be managing the project better. The risks are much higher when a project is managed in Office. This risk can lead to failed audits. Once an audit is failed, the chance of project failure increases exponentially. Even without an audit failure, there will be an increased chance of project delays as there is a scramble to find out if everything has been tested, if all the mitigations have been verified and validated. And what about those last-minute changes? Did we accommodate our test cases for those? Is that reflected in our documentation? Did the new specification get verified and validated? Escaping from Office and entering an artifact-based tool approach can give you freedom. The time that project management has to spend on managing the spreadsheet is eliminated, and tools bring you the important features instantly. There will be no doubt about the source of truth. Impact analysis will be easily seen. Multiple team members can work together on a single document without risking the source of truth. Details needed to both verify and validate specifications and risks are brought automatically to the test cases. All these features together will lower your overall development risk, decrease time spent chasing information, and provide a much more collaborative environment. By moving to a modern ALM or DHF tool, you benefit almost immediately. You gain traceability that is often automated, an audit trail that retains everything done in the system. Your people can work together on the same project without worrying about altering the source of truth. And most tools are process agnostic. It doesn't matter if you're agile or waterfall or somewhere in between. Tools enable you to capture requirements and specifications the way you want them to be written. As they are artifacts not tied to documentation, they are reusable and can follow a process that you dictate. Linking them together or with other items such as test cases or specifications or risks is not a problem because they're all independent artifacts. Look at them as bricks used to build documents. Visibility is another large and important feature of modern tools. Because traceability between artifacts, you can pull metrics that show real relationships such as test coverage. You can prove verification and validation steps have been taken, or create variants for different iterations of your products without having to rewrite everything. And when an error is found during testing, steps to reproduce will go directly to the newly created issue that sprung from your testing efforts, saving you time and energy by not having to chase down information. With the tools come metrics. These reporting capabilities will enable you to quickly create reports across a whole array of subjects. Project progress is no longer a mystery, and you can easily see which areas need focus and how healthy a project is. Of course, our ultimate goal is to build a platform for engineering excellence, which will be the springboard for better products that are created more quickly with better quality and customer acceptance. This can be achieved by having a flexible and natural workflow for your process. Being able to get information so that quality is proactive and not reactive. In order to do this, you need to know where to focus your testing efforts through impact analysis. And by having this 360-degree visibility of every artifact in your project, you'll receive the ability to know what is happening in every facet of the project's life cycle. This visibility will alert you to development risks before they become liabilities. And when the auditors do come, you will have the evidence they require at your fingertips. The result of this platform that you've built is you'll get your product ready for release faster and more easily. Faster means less time on documentation and more time on innovation. By not tripping up on compliance and regulatory submissions, your life will be naturally easier, and you'll feel more confident that you're ready to ship your product without any nagging doubts. Our studies show that our customers experience a large decrease in the actual effort to create design control documents. Aligned Elements lowers your effort in maintaining your design control items by 2/3, at the same time reducing issues within your QMS by 60%. In a world where time and budgets are less and less, these decreases can translate directly into savings of both man-hours spent and money saved. All the while, lowering your overall development risk. This concludes our presentation for today, and I'm happy to field any questions you might have about planning and executing your own escape from office. You can contact us at info@align.ch or by calling us directly in Switzerland at +41 44 312 5020. Thanks again for watching.